What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, just watched the Monique interview, and she discusses her problems with DL Hughley. I mentioned it in the previous video that I made, and I was talking about how she said where the problems stem from. She said the problems started initially when she came on DL Hughley's platform, his show. He wasn't there. His co-host Jasmine, she presented this game that they play on the show where she asked him, would she rather have her husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or sleep with Corinne Steffens, aka Superhead, without one, right? And she like, yo, that's a crazy disrespectful question, which it is. I agree. Because why would you create a scenario or play a game and create a scenario where a woman's husband is sleeping with another man or another woman too? But it really sleeping with another man and a man that is is regardless of what it is, because Lee's gay, but still sleeping with another man, presenting that type of like scenario is wild to me and it's disrespectful. You know what I mean? And so she called DL Hughley about it, and she said DL was like, basically, that's how we do our show. It is what it is, right? So then DL Hughley, later on, her and DL Hughley had a dispute about who was headlining a show. She alleges that she was the headliner. DL Hughley showed information, a memo that contradicted her being the headliner. She like, that's a memo, that ain't the contract. DL Hughley like, yo, I was the headliner and she knows it. And so that created some friction at the show. Monique then proceeded to go on the show, go out in the on the show, not on the show, excuse me. She proceeded to do the comedy show, and in front of the crowd started to berate DL Hughley, started to address him. She said he let his daughter get molested, all these type of crazy. She was going in on him, right, in front of everybody and in front of the whole crowd, just focusing her majority of her show on attacking DL. And so ever since then, there's been like tension between the two. So DL Hughley got wind of the interview that Monique did on Club Shay Shay, as we all knew she would, because everybody is talking about the interview. Shannon Sharp is the go-to media right now. He really got the world in the palm of his hands, the media world for sure, right? And so he like, listen, he go in on Monique, all the way in on her, clowning her out, making jokes about her. He made a joke about her weight, going in about on her husband, saying only people, and basically was talking about how it's kind of funny how her own family does not mess with her, right? How her whole family do not rock with her. Only her daddy rocks with her, which is her husband. If you don't know, her and her husband she calls her husband daddy, like publicly on interview forums and all of that, which I always thought was a little weird. I ain't gonna lie, especially in professional settings. It's like, I understand some people people call their spouses certain names and stuff like that, but I feel like some stuff is for the house and some stuff is for public. But she calls him daddy and all of that, right? So anyway, after DL Hughley goes on his rant, I see a lot of people saying, why DL Hughley coming at her like that? Oh, a hit dog gonna holler and all of that, and oh, he wrong for how he addressing Monique. Let me say this, DL Hughley got every right to address Monique the way he wants to. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed the Monique interview. I felt like this was the most personal I've ever seen her, and like I said, Shannon Sharp has a way of getting people comfortable to where they give interviews and they can seem more personable than they ever have, and even seem more genuine, or it comes across differently, because in this interview, Monique wasn't playing defense because Shannon Sharp hadn't made prior comments about how he felt like she shouldn't have been paid or she shouldn't have expected to be paid a certain amount by Netflix. So she has nothing to defend on Shannon's show outside of just stating her. She just wanted to tell her story on Shannon's show, right? And I think it allowed people to see her in a different light, including myself. And I do believe that, yeah, she did get, what's the word I'm looking for? She did get a bad rap from, Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and Lee Daniels. I do believe she didn't get a fair shake from those individuals, and I do believe that they played a part in sullying her reputation, right? However, when you come out on your show, regardless of what issues you got with DL Hughley, and you come in front of a humongous setting, a crowd, a big crowd, and you bring his daughter's trauma to light, and you clowning him out about his daughter's trauma, whether you feel like he handled that trauma in the right way or not, because what I've heard is allegedly D.L. Hughley didn't initially believe his daughter or something like that, and it caused friction between the two or something like that, right? But when you bring that up in front of the world, and you let your daughter get molested, you let her that is disrespectful. That is crazy. Especially if maybe him and his daughter have gotten past that, and you bring her trauma to light in front of the world, or not in front of the world, but in front of like a ton of fans to hear, and bring that trauma to the forefront. That man got every right to go swing for the fences. I'm sorry. Y'all might not like me saying that, but come on now, right? Just imagine, y'all, even if you had a situation with your child or something and that happened, and somebody bring that to the light, use your daughter's trauma as a chance to get off on you or clown you out, you gonna see red. You gonna black out. It's like you probably, I'm not advocating violence, but you gonna want to do something. You gonna want to move some furniture for real. And so D.L. Hughley, instead of moving some furniture, he came at her in the way he knows how to do, like a comedian would. And I think it's all is fair in that. You know, people are like, oh, he shouldn't have said nothing about our weight. And I listen, man, I hear what you're saying. And I don't fat shame nobody. You know what I mean? But I'm not for that. You know, it's just some people I feel like it's just heinous individuals who I don't care if they get fat shamed. Like Jason Wood, like I don't give a damn if he gets fat shamed at all. But yeah, regardless of how y'all feel about it, listen, she didn't do it on Shannon Sharp's platform. She didn't bring up his daughter's trauma, but she did it in her comedy set. In her comedy set where jokes are supposed to be told, she presented his daughter's trauma and basically tried to call him, oh, you let it happen. That's crazy. That's enraging. And he got every right to stand his ground about his child, about her trauma and her bringing it to light, and about his reputation with that. So yeah, bro, I don't care. People are like, oh, he shouldn't have said it. Nah, man. It's just, see, when people are fans of a person, they don't know how to like separate the two. I can be a fan of a person and understand why another person may respond to them in the way they do. Like, I could be a fan of LeBron James. LeBron James do something and I don't agree with it, and I can still understand why a person would respond the way they do to LeBron, even if that's my guy. Even if I'm a fan of his work or whatever. Same way I told y'all, I was the biggest Jay-Z fan growing up. And I understand why people look at Jigga the way they do. And even myself, I look at Jigga as a capitalist, which he is. You know what I mean? People may not like that if they big Jigga or Beyonce fans, but it is what it is, right? And so I saw people also saying, well, D.L. Hughley, it's so funny, he didn't respond to Cat with this type of vigor, he didn't respond to Cat Williams with this type of energy. People, Cat Williams said nothing bad about D.L. Hughley. That's how I know y'all not paying attention and listening. Y'all just heard him say D.L.'s name. He didn't say anything bad, though. He said D.L., that's his guy. He respect D.L. He got a lot of love for D.L. That's what he said in Shannon Sharp's interview. So why would D.L. have responded to Cat with vigor and anger? D.L., if he said something bad about D.L., D.L. definitely would have responded the same way he responded to Monique. Because D.L. is a person, whether y'all think he funny or not, D.L. don't give a damn. He don't take the high road. He don't. You go low, he gonna go lower. That's just how he get down. And I can only respect it. If you know what I mean? Everybody ain't gonna respond with tender love and care and grace. But he had no reason to respond to Cat Williams with animus because Cat ain't never say nothing bad about him. Now Monique, on the other hand, hey, he feel like she's lying, and he didn't like how she went on her comedy set and made his daughter's trauma part of her set. And I feel him on it. So he got every reason to respond in a certain way. You come in mine, or you bring us a situation that involves mine that's hurtful to her, whether you feel like you heard I handled it a certain way or not. You know what I mean? And again, I'm always gonna believe my child if she says that happens to her. But I don't know the particulars of what happened with him and his daughter. But regardless of that, they moved past that, and they on great terms and on a great accord. Why would you come and bring that up in front of the world? If you got a problem with me, keep it with me and you. Excuse me. Don't put it between me and my children or my family. No, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so if if you go that route, if you want to bring up my daughter's trauma, I'm gonna bring up your daddy, your husband. Which I don't care what nobody say, man. Monique is, I've always been a fan of Monique's comedy. I loved The Park because that's one of my favorite shows ever. Like, for real, for real. When it first came, I think, on Netflix, I was watching it, enjoying it, because I love that show. Everybody loved Monique on that show, man. It was a dope show, without question. But I am not going to act like her and her husband relationship, because he's her manager, when she be calling him daddy, it sound like it's a little weird, like a little pimp dynamic with him and her. And yeah, it kind of seems like that to me. I don't know, but I haven't seen them, like, I don't know them personally, for me to say confirm that 100%. But it does kind of seem whatever. It kind of seem a little like, are you trying to manipulate this woman? Because I know game when I see it, and I know even when a man's protecting a woman, I still can see when he trying to, like, win over in a situation. So, but I don't know. I would have to examine them a little more closely, but I've seen them on forums or platforms together at times, right? But anyway, yeah, I do think that D.L. Hughley had every right to respond to Monique in the way that he saw fit. I'm sorry. Now, I will say this, though. In regards to what he was saying about how, I'm going to say this. I really enjoyed Monique, and I feel like she was really personable. I feel like it was a dope interview. We got to know certain things about her that we hadn't known before, and I saw her in a different light than when I previously saw her because she wasn't playing defense. And I believed a lot of things that she said, for sure. But I will say, two things could be true. She could have received foul treatment. She could have been done wronged, and I believe she was wronged by the heads of the media of Black Hollywood, for sure. But I also feel like it's something to that, like I said, with her and her husband, because you don't get along with your whole family. That's odd to me, unless they're taking the side of her abuser, her brother, because she admits to being molested by her brother. Unless they're all caping for him, you don't get along with nobody in your family. And she admitted on the show, Shannon Sharp asked her what her relationship is with her family, and she said, they're my biological family. And in so many words, she said, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's it, right? And that's just strange to me. I got friends who I know, like one of my close friends, he's not really close with his mom and some of his siblings, but he still go visit other family members. He still got siblings that he's close with. He still, go see certain aunties or, you know what I mean? So all of your family don't like you. It's something to that. Either you got a certain way about you that, is kind of telling and people don't want it around them. You got a certain energy about you that people don't want around them. Or they look at your husband and they see through him in a way where they're like, I want to stay away. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh, your family don't rock with you. That's just strange to me. Kind of like Kobe and Vanessa Bryant. Even Kobe's death couldn't bring Kobe's parents and Vanessa together. Even Kobe and their grandchild's death couldn't bring them together. At the memorial that they had for Kobe and Gigi, the family, people not even mentioning Joe and Pamela Bryant, Kobe's parents, right? Only person brought them up was Shaq, and it seemed like they probably sitting somewhere far away from Vanessa. And I know it's been rumored that they didn't want Kobe to marry Vanessa because of her ethnicity, but I feel like it's something more than that. They think, remember when Kobe and Vanessa was about to split, and everybody like, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, people were saying in the songs, and she was trying to get some money. Do they feel like that she was exploiting Kobe or something, or extorting him? I don't know, but it just seems strange where your whole family don't rock with you.